So yesterday we were done with fundamental rights. Okay, let's solve some questions quickly. What's the answer? Which of the following statement is correct? So C, rights are claims of citizens against the state. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, C. What's the answer? Somebody said A right now? No? An ordinance can amend any central act, yes? Of course. An ordinance can abridge, reduce a fundamental right, is it correct? No law can be made that can take away or abridge a fundamental right. And law, the definition of law also includes ordinances. So, this is wrong. If 2 is wrong, remove this, and remove this. You get, remove this, you get this as the answer. An ordinance can come into effect from a back date. It's possible. If it's a tax ordinance and all. Option. Which of the following are regarded as the main features of rule of law? Limitations of power is rule of law. Equality before law. People's responsibility to the government. No. Liberty and civil rights. Articles 14 to 18 are called civil rights. 1, 2 and 4. What's the answer? Any law which confers on the executive or administrative authority an unguided, uncontrolled, discretionary, arbitrary, random kind of power violates what? Rule of law. If you have unlimited power given to any body, rule of law gets violated. So Article 14 gets violated. Okay. So right answer is Article 14. B. Others? No idea. You only tell us, sir, what to do. It is a governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of the state as an ST. Yes? Governor? No. Then? President? Okay, this is wrong. A community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state not be so in another state. Is it possible? yes, the ST list is arranged state-wise. So you can be in ST in one state, may not be in other state. B, 2 only. See, as far as these kind of questions are concerned, not especially, I am talking only from polity perspective, not other topics. In the last 25-30 years, any question that has come where you have two statements or you have assertion reason type questions, in polity, the answer has always been C or D. Always so far, meaning one statement has been wrong. Okay, so maybe next time, I don't know, but till now that's been the case. So when such questions come from polity, your first task is to find out if possibly any statement is wrong or not. So in this situation, Article 335 of the Constitution defines the term efficiency. Is it defined there? No, this term is not defined. So 2 is wrong. This means statement 2 is incorrect. First one is correct. Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that reservation policies should be limited by Article 335, meaning you can provide reservation, but it should not violate or compromise with the efficiency of administration. What is that judgment? Do you remember? It's a Indira Sahni judgment, the Mandal judgment where Supreme Court said this. So anyway, right answer is C. 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. Easy question. What is the delay? Which one of the following categories of fundamental rights incorporates protection against untouchability? Untouchability, which article is that? 17. 17 comes under right to equality. Okay, fair. Calm down, calm down. Read the question properly. B. Okay, let's see. Bharat Ratna and the Padma Awards are titles. Are they titles? Sure? Not titles? So this is wrong. Padma Awards, which were instituted in the year 54, were suspended only once. Twice. Number of these awards is restricted to maximum. All 3 are wrong. Right answer is D. A very challenging question. Right to privacy. Article 21, Puttaswamy judgment. Look at this. Shamelessly asking the question again. Can you see? Right to privacy asked 3 times in the last 7-8 years. UPSC has gone crazy for this right to privacy. What about this one? Article 21, Hadia case. You know, Hadia case was actually referred to a lot by love jihad case. Though love jihad is not a term coined by this judgment. Love jihad is a term which was coined, you'll be surprised, by the leftist government in Kerala and the church in Kerala. But this became known as the love jihad case because of different religions, and then the parents were upset and also court then gave the judgment of right to marry. Anyway, so see what happens is, if Supreme Court has interpreted something to be part of Article 21, it does become important. See the question here, 2019, judgment 2018. Okay, so please keep a track of what all things have been interpreted to be part of Article 21. Okay, this was a pretty decent question. Solve this. Due process means what? Fairness of law. Fairness means principles of natural justice. This is the idea of fairness. Equality before law is Article 14. Procedure established actually means fair application of law. These two mean the same thing. Procedure established by law, meaning we are applying the laws in a fair manner. But when the law itself has to be fair, when natural justice has to be followed, that is what? Due process. Oh, this is done. Okay. Right against exploitation, 2 articles. Which 2? 23 and 24. First one is which article? 23. Second one is which article? Third one is which article? Fourth one? 24. Child labor. So answer is 1 and 4. C. First Amendment. What's the answer? Something A, B, C, D. A? Why? Oh, a lot of examples are there, like say Champakam Durai Rajan. In that judgment, the court said that you cannot have provisions that provide for reservation in education. To bypass that, the Parliament made the First Amendment Act. So the question says that which one of the following amendments was widely believed to be enacted to overcome the judicial interpretation, right? In 1973, we had something called the Keshwan Bharti judgment of 1973, yes? Basic structure, wherein the Parliament's power to amend was limited, right? Through the 42nd Amendment Act, did we not try to change this? 2 clauses were added to Article 368, 4 and 5, which said that Parliament, there is no limit on Parliament's power to amend the Constitution. It was then later on cancelled in the Minerva Mills case. Or come to 44th. There was a very popular, infamous case called ADM Jabalpur case, where Supreme Court said that right to life can also be violated during emergency. And then the 1978 Amendment Act came, which actually modified Article 359 to add exceptions of 20 and 21. All 3, A, B and C, can be correct. Okay. So what's the answer? Okay, let's move on. So answer for that question, UPSC cancelled this question actually. Okay, this question was cancelled. I'm not keeping the answer secret, there is no answer. Because A, B and C could have been the answers. And that is why in the answer key, a dash was put in front of this question. Okay, so full 1 year to prepare 100 questions. and they can't prepare correct questions also. Give me a moment, guys. Yes, answer. Which article is that? Which article became 300 a day? So what does it say, 31.1? No person shall be deprived. So, legal right, yes, available to any person. Okay. Again, the logic is that this is a constitutional right, but also a legal right. And this is, the word in this article says, no person, not citizen. C. Prohibition is a system that operates in the court proceedings, so this is correct. Mandamus will not lie against a private organization unless it is entrusted with public duty. Yes. So that's mandamus, correct. Mandamus will not lie against a company even though it may be a government company. If it's a government company, we can always have a mandamus against them. So 2 is wrong, remove 2. And that is wrong. C is the right answer. Any public-minded person can be a petitioner to move to the court to obtain the writ of quorum. Is it correct? Yes. Under writs, locus standi is not there. Any person can go to court. Now, you have the printout? Everyone? Okay, great. So, this is DPSP's Directive Principles of State Policy. Very simple and easy. Part 4, Articles 36 to 51. Firstly, from where have we borrowed this, or sorry, drawn inspiration from? The Irish Constitution. Ireland itself has borrowed from Spain. Okay, so there's a history of borrowing continuing. Cut, copy, paste. But actually, we have changed it completely. In Ireland, they have a different name for it. They call it Directive Principles of Social Policy. And we have changed the name completely by calling it Directive Principles of State Policy. Full change, right? Anyway, in the Government of India Act also, they had this thing called Instruments of Instruction for the government. Sapru Committee, Tej Bahadur Sapru, you know, Tej Bahadur Sapru. They submitted a 343-page report, the non-party meeting that happened. And there they had suggested that once we have our constitution, we will have 2 types of rights for people. One would be justiciable rights. What is meant by justiciable rights? Okay, which can be claimed in court. The other would be non-justiciable rights, which cannot be claimed in court. So DPSP is a classic example of a non-justiciable right. You can't claim this in court. Okay. So socialist, Gandhian and liberal principles, 3 categories of principles that are what DPSPs are. Socialistic principles, meaning The idea of reducing the concentration of wealth in the country. And that's the reason DPSPs are said to be a depiction of welfare state in the country. India is a welfare state. What's the meaning of welfare state? Welfare state means any state which protects and promotes the economic and social well-being of its people. That state is called a welfare state. Are we clear? Lot of countries across the globe are welfare states. You can go to Western Europe and all these Nordic countries which are always toppers in good things. HDI, CPI, any kind of human indicator you take, these buggers are always topping the list. They are also welfare states. So, if you protect and promote the economic and social well-being of your people, you are a welfare state. India is also a welfare state. Okay. Police state. Police state is a state which is illiberal in nature. Police state is a state which believes in use of force curtailing liberties. Okay. More of a Hobbesian model. No, forget that. It's a state which curtails the liberties of people. Use of coercive apparatus of force. Then Gandhian principles are also there. Gandhiji believed in great things like non-vegetarian. Okay. Killing of animals, he was very upset at all these things. He was okay with people killing people, but animals he was upset. No. Non-violence. Okay, let's be serious. Non-violence. Okay. Then local governments, cooperatives, all this melodrama. So we have that also. And then liberal principles, modern intellectual principles like, having a common personal law, protection of environment, solving problems through discussions, international peace, etc. We'll get to see what these principles are. Now, directive principles of state policy. What is the meaning of state? Same definition as part 3. What is part 3? FRs. But one small point of difference here. Here, judiciary is covered. Under part 3, judiciary was not covered for its judicial functions. Remember? Court of records were not covered. But here it is covered. And finally, this article, extremely important. This is what describes what DPSP is. So this article says that the provisions contained in this part, which part? Part 4, shall not be enforceable by any court. Please underline that. Shall not be enforceable by any court. So, they are not actually enforceable. But the principles therein laid down are fundamental in the governance of the country. That is why we say that DPSPs are the fundamental principles according to which the country's internal life is governed. And it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. So, state has to ensure that these principles should be applied while making laws in the country. Duty. Now, of course, the question is what kind of duty? Is it a legal duty or a moral duty? That is not clarified. Because it is non-justiciable, people claim that it is just a moral duty. Right? But anyway, that is of no concern to us, at least for our prelims. But remember that DPSPs are what? Non-justiciable. Because they can't be enforced in courts. Clear? Okay. See, the point is not to know the DPSPs, but at least have a rough idea of what article contains what. Clear? So, firstly, we have classified the principles. Constitution has not classified it. Okay? Not in the Constitution. This has been classified by us for easy understanding, to also show people that see DPSP contains wide range of topics. So one is Article 38. The state shall strive to promote the welfare of people, and see, in which justice, social, economic and political shall inform. Have you read this phrase somewhere else also? Preamble. The same phrase exists in the preamble also. The one underlined. Okay. DPSPs can be amended. Yes, they have been amended 4 times. So this part was actually a later addition. 44th Amendment Act of the year 78. Done? Should we proceed? So this says that the state shall in particular strive to minimize inequalities in income, etc. Then 39 is important. There are certain DPSPs which are given precedence over some fundamental rights. No? 39 B and C over which rights? 14 and 19. Which article says so? 31 C. Very good. Okay, great. So you can see here, citizens, men and women, equally have right to an adequate means of livelihood. These two, we can put a star mark. These two are important articles. Ownership and control of material resources of the community are so distributed as best to subserve the common good, that the operation of the economic system does not result in the concentration of wealth in the hands of few or to the common detriment. Clear? We have to redistribute countries' resources. We have to reduce the concentration of wealth. No? Should we not? Yes. That is why top 10% people control around 70% wealth in the country. That's the reason we are reducing the concentration of wealth. Top 1% people control 22% wealth in the country. Bottom 50% have less than 13% wealth in the country. But still we are reducing concentration of wealth. So the businessmen are getting richer, poor getting poorer. Then there is equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Would you agree on that? Of course. Then, that the health and strength of workers, men and women, and the tender age of children are not abused, and citizens are not forced by economic necessity to enter avocation means profession. What kind of nonsense is this? Citizens are not forced to enter avocations due to economic need. Meaning citizens should not be forced to work for money. Why do people work? This article says no, work for passion only. If you work for passion, half the country will be unemployed. People work for money. Look at the great statements they are making. That is why it is non-justiciable. You can't claim all these things in court. Becomes a problem. See, there is a group of people who don't like their job. That group is called everybody. Okay. So that's there. Then that the children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner. Put this in bracket. This was added later on. 42nd Amendment Act. Not the entire clause F, this part. And conditions of freedom and dignity, and that childhood and youth are protected against exploitation, moral and material abandonment. So morally also you will not be abandoned, and materially also you will not feel lonely as a child. Don't worry. Again, difficult to justify in court. So vague kind of words creates a problem. 39A, this was also added later on. Now I have just mentioned these two changes because they are very peculiar changes, but towards the end you will have the amendments mentioned separately. Equal justice and free legal aid. Have we done this? How? NALSA, very good. We have already made the provision for NALSA. Under NALSA, we have SALSA. Under SALSA, we have DALSA. Under DALSA, we have at the Taluk level, not TALSA, TLSC, Taluk Legal Service Committees. NALSA at National SALSA, SLSA, not SALSA, SALSA. State DALSA is district and TLSC is Taluk. Full nationwide network. Okay. 2 years back, a mains question was asked from NALSA. Based on your situation, I'm highly doubtful that you are following PYQs. Okay. 40. Gandhiji's favorite. Organization of village panchayats. Have you achieved this? How? Which amendment act? Please tell me. 73rd of the year 1992. So we have achieved this also. That is the 73rd Amendment Act of the year 1992. Then where is 41? 41, right to work. Look at the behavior of our makers. Please understand. Right to work is mentioned here. Citizens, men and women equally have right to adequate means of livelihood. It's the same thing, right to work, right? Same article repeated multiple times in different words. Like a UPSC aspirant writing a 150-word answer knows only 2 points. He'll repeat the same points in different language. Same thing. Too many repetitions are there. Okay. Here also, see 43. The state shall endeavor to secure by suitable law or any other to all workers, agricultural, industrial or otherwise work. The state will provide them work. Again, right to work. Same point 3 times. Anyway, so right to work and also education, public assistance, and in cases of unemployment, etc., you'll be given some kind of what? Public assistance. Unemployment allowance that your government promised to you, 3,000 rupees per month. Remember? You are getting it right. Then what are you sitting? Go out and protest. 3,000 per month. You can party properly. Okay, so 36,000 per year uselessly for unemployment. Thankfully, they're not giving money. Okay. Then also it talks about 43 living wage, and why I told you that DPSPs are non-justiciable, right? Look at the statement. So state shall endeavor. Endeavor means to strive, take effort to secure through all these things to all workers, agricultural workers, industrial workers, otherwise work, a living wage, conditions of work ensuring a decent standard of life and full enjoyment of leisure. How can the state ensure all this? That you go home and you enjoy your leisure period. If you're a crybaby, you will never enjoy anything. Imagine if this is justiciable. You go to court and claim, I want to enjoy my leisure. Come on, dance for me, monkey boys. That's a problem actually. This is too vague in nature. Mentioning all these things in a legal book is not justified. These are moral philosophies. You should enjoy your leisure period and all. Anyway, the first part is all this bogus thing. Second part says, the state shall endeavor to promote cottage industries. Gandhian principle. First part is a socialistic principle. Second part is Gandhian principle. Same article can have both principles. Are you clear? Okay. Then 43A, participation of workers in the management of industry. So here, workers will take part in the management of industries. Is it happening? How are workers taking part in the industrial management? You have worker unions. The union head is made a part of board of members. That means workers are not taking part in management of PSUs and all. Okay. 43B, promotion of cooperative societies. 44, the dangerous provision. UCC, uniform. What is Uniform Civil Code? Common law in personal matters, right? What are personal laws or personal matters? Marriage, adoption, then yes, divorce, of course. Marriage, divorce, adoption, guardianship, minority rights, inheritance rights, all these things are called personal laws. So right now we don't have a common law. We have different laws. Based on what? Religion. Okay. So we have Hindu code bills, 4 Hindu laws. We have the Muslim Shariat Act, Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act. We have a Parsi Marriage Act. We have Indian Christian Marriage Act. We have special Hindu code bills covers 4 laws. We have what else? Anand Marriage Act for Sikh people separately. Special Marriage Act for not logical, for neutral people who don't believe in religion. Then we have separate laws for Schedule 5 areas, Schedule 6 areas. Then we have certain states like Nagaland, Article 371A, which have their own personal laws. So we have too many personal laws in the country. We should have a UCC, Uniform Civil Code. This topic is important for main examination. Recently, a state created their own UCC. Which state was that? Uttarakhand. In Uttarakhand, you cannot be involved in polygamy. Irrespective of your religion, polygamy is not allowed. Okay? Polygamy means multiple spouses, right? So that's not allowed there. Also, if you are in a live-in relationship, you have to get it registered with the government of state government. Even in a live-in relationship, it offers protection to the couple. Then 45, early childhood care and education till the age of 6 years. Done. Then 46, this is the protection of the SCs, STs, weaker sections of the society. Have we done anything for this? Protection of SC, STs. What have we done? Reservation policy. The bodies like NCSC, NCST. Then 47, yes, somebody was mentioning this only. No, 48, okay. This is the liquor ban article. Look at the second part. First part says, state shall regard the raising of the level of nutrition and standard of living, all that nonsense is mentioned. Vague phrases, improvement of public health as its primary. What is the meaning of improvement of public health? Everybody should have biceps 16 inches. Say something IMR, TFR, MMR, logical things which can be quantified. This is qualitative approach. Public health has to be improved. 6-pack abs for everyone. Second part is very specific. And the state shall endeavor to bring about prohibition of the consumption except for medicinal purposes of intoxicating drinks and drugs which are injurious to health. So no drinking except for medicinal purpose, meaning cough syrup has alcohol content. Don't start drinking too much. So this is the liquor ban article. Liquor ban is actually, which state has liquor ban? Gujarat, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Bihar, Lakshadweep, right? Okay. Andhra also had liquor ban, right? Some time back. They could not handle it. Not because you are drinkers and all, because revenue problem. Liquor gives excise, which is a huge source of revenue for the state government. So if you want to contribute to state government's resources, drink as much as you can. The more you drink, the more money the state gets. Please don't drink. Don't drink. Drinking is not a good habit. I don't know what they show in cinema. but if you drink, it can only be two things. You look like a fool or you look disgusting. There's no third thing. So, no drinking from today. Okay. 48. This is a full-on Gandhian principle, like 47. Second part. Read after in particular. Fourth line. Take steps for preserving and improving the breeds and prohibiting the slaughter of cows and calves and other milch and draught. What is milch cattle? Milch cattle. Milch cattle are those cattle which give milk which is fit for human consumption, like cows, buffaloes, goats, camels, donkeys. No? In Andhra itself, there are a lot of tribals who sell donkey milk. And now, yes, immediately. Then what else? Any lion? Sorry? No, don't say lion, tiger and all, please. No, I don't know. So, these things only so far. And what are draught cattle? Draught cattle are beasts of burden, which are used to carry load, like oxen, camel, horses, UPSC aspirants. So, draught cattle. Then 48A, protection of environment and safeguarding the forests. 49, protection of monuments and places of national importance. 50 is a separation of judiciary from executive. In public services, actually till 1973, we had the old CRPC. Okay. Have you observed the IAS officers in district? They are called district collectors. Why collector? Because they are collecting corruption money. No, they are collecting taxes actually. But why are they called magistrate? District magistrate, do they have magisterial function? Function to punish? This comes from the old concept. Before 1973, district magistrates had judicial functions also to perform. They could send people to jail. In the new CRPC, they made a series of these posts called Chief Judicial Magistrate, JM First Class, etc. and took away your power to send people to jail. Clear? So, we have already achieved this as well through the CRPC of 1973 by separating judiciary from executive. And lastly, 51, promotion of international peace and security. Clear? India resolves all its problems with arbitration, meaning discussion. We don't fight at all. We don't fight. Our neighbors fight with us. What can we do? Okay, 4 amendments to DPSP. I would request you to mug up these 4 amendments. So there are 4 amendments made, or amendment made 4 times. In 1976, 4 changes were made. In 1978, 1 change. In the 86th one, 1 change. And with the 97th one, 1 more change. Are you clear? Please mug up this list. It is important. Should we proceed? Okay. Great. Now let's come to fundamental duties. From one useless topic to a bigger useless topic. This has no value. All the duties mentioned here, most of them are bogus completely. Please understand, FDs are not legally enforceable. Okay? And what is the point? It is just a moral obligation on citizens. 2 things are important. Number 1, the FDs were added later on. Okay, this is part 4A, 1 article only. And what is that? 51 capital A. This was added on the recommendation of Sardar Swan Singh Committee. The Sardar Swan Singh Committee gave recommendations to add 1 more thing in the constitution. What was that? What? Sir, 1 more thing. This is there, sir. Something else. Right to vote. It is not a fundamental right. Who is giving all these ideas? Taxes. No. A different part of our constitution comes from recommendation of Swan Singh Committee. Tribunals, part 14A. Okay, tribunals were added in 1976 on the recommendation of Sardar Swan Singh Committee only. Okay, so there were originally 10 duties, now 11, because last one was added later on. What is that last duty? If you are a parent or a guardian, send your kid to school. Okay. So first thing was, these duties have been added through 42nd Amendment Act on the recommendation of Swan Singh Committee. Second is the duties are meant only for citizens. Read. It shall be duty of every. Circle this, you will remember it. That it's a duty of citizens. So you can go through it: to abide by the Constitution, respect its ideals, etc. To cherish and follow the noble ideals that inspired the national struggle for freedom. To uphold and protect to cherish and follow the noble ideals that inspired the national struggle for freedom. What are those noble ideals that inspired the freedom struggle? Throwing bombs, non-cooperation, civil disobedience. Should we use that now? Of course not. So they have not clarified which ideals. To uphold and protect the sovereignty of India, okay, defend the country and render national service. Then the fifth one, to protect harmony and spirit of common brotherhood amongst all people of India, transcending religious, linguistic and regional or sectional diversities. And to renounce practices derogatory to dignity of women. To value and preserve the rich heritage of our country's composite culture. Rich heritage like untouchability. It must be preserved. No? Again, not clarified what to be preserved. Then to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and have compassion for living creatures. Don't throw stones on dogs. Then to develop scientific temper, humanism, spirit of what kind of nonsense is this? Spirit of inquiry, asking questions. To religion. FRs give us freedom of religion. Duties want us to ask questions. Inquire. Please go home today and ask questions from parents. Why are you performing this ritual? Who slaps on your face? See, religion only stops us from doing one thing: asking questions. But duty says, ask questions. Spirit of inquiry is important. Scientific temper is important. So before you go to exam, eat curd and jaggery. It will help you improve your performance. Or when a cat crosses a road, don't cross now. Right? Scientific temper. Then safeguard public property and to abjure violence. Don't be violent. Safeguard public property. Like people take the bridges home, railway tracks home. No? Have you heard of these examples? People stealing bridges and railway tracks. So they are actually safeguarding property, but in their house. Then to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Okay, too much of expectation from citizen. Done. Okay, solve the questions now. In India, separation of judiciary from executive enjoined where? Article number. Article 50, DPSP. Very good. Then, promotion of international peace and security. 51, DPSP. Then, concentration of wealth violates what? Forget that. Give me article. 39C. We have to reduce the concentration of wealth. Answer is DPSP. Now, please don't cross-check your notes. Solve this. Yes, innocent people. Something. B. What is the answer here? B. What is the answer here? What is the answer here? So what is the answer here? B. No, answer is B actually. Okay. Participation of workers in the management of industries. You can please cross check. What is the answer here? B. The ideal of welfare state in the Indian Constitution is enshrined in its DPSP. Now they have confused the aspirant completely by changing the option. And look at this question. This question says the ideal of welfare state is mentioned where? And this says which place mentions welfare state? Active, passive. They are playing these kind of games rather than asking genuine questions. So, okay, answer is DPSP. Done. Solve this one. All three are correct. What are you saying? First one is correct. Oh, okay. Correctly matched. Second one? Third one? Which article is this? 24. Right against? Exploitation. All three are correct. So C is the right answer. Okay. Great. Rights are correlative with duties. Yes. Okay. Rights are personal and hence independent of society. Is it correct? Of course not. Rights not duties are important. Both are important. But duties not rights. Both are important. So A is the right answer. Citizens have rights and they also have some duties to perform. Please tell me what is the answer? C. Oh. Let's see. To preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, is it a part of FDs? To protect weaker sections from social injustice. It seems to be a nice idea, but it is not directly mentioned in the duties. 2 is wrong. Remove 2. Right answer is C. The most important thing which should have been a duty is not a duty. To vote in public elections. So, right answer is A. This is not mentioned as a part of fundamental duties. Okay, next module. You will have a topic, precedent, etc. Okay. So, order of precedence. First up, what is the meaning of this? This is just a ceremonial protocol list. Countries' top people arrange in a decreasing order of hierarchy. So this order is maintained by the Home Ministry, but is kept with the President. At the top, we have the President, then we have the VP, then we have PM, Governor within states, then former presidents, then Deputy PM, then two people sharing the same rank, CGIN, Speaker of Lok Sabha, so on and so forth. You can see IAS officer also there, rank 14. No? Cabinet Secretary. Who is this fellow? Senior most IAS in the country is called a Cabinet Secretary, and senior most IAS in the state is called Chief Secretary. So that should be your aim, to become Cabinet Secretary. If you don't have a name, I am giving you a name. But then it is not in your control. Lot of factors are required. Entering at a young age, preferably under 25, playing your cards right every time, not being involved in any kind of corrupt activity, right alignment with right party, etc. So it's okay. First target, clear the exam. Then we'll see Cabinet Secretary's post. Anyway, so this is the order of precedence. Just go through it before the exam twice or thrice, because in the last 20 years, they have not asked a question on this. It was UPSC's favorite in the early 2000s, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years back to back, one question every year. Then they stopped asking it. And now they have forgotten about it. President, quickly, manner of election. Oh, firstly, who are the electors? All elected MPs, all elected MLAs of states. And here, states also include UTs of Delhi and Puducherry. If you want to add Jammu and Kashmir, what is to be done? Constitutional amendment is required. This is Article 54. Okay. So you will have to amend Article 54. But please tell me, innocent people, if you have to amend Article 354, what is the process? Okay, very good. Special majority plus half of the states, because this is a federal feature, right? Okay. Then, who all are not a part of voter list? MLCs and nominated legislators. How many of them are there currently? Where? Rajya Sabha. Okay. And? Sorry? Any other nomination? Who? We had earlier Anglo-Indians. Expired. Members did not expire. Nomination expired in 2020. Okay. So, election of president is done through, we know very well, it is indirect proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. There is no EVM. There is no nota. And there is no whip. I hope you're aware what is the whip. Yes? Whip. Tell me what is whip. Okay. Instruction issued by party to vote in a particular direction is called a whip. Clear? Great. Now the formula. Gopala Swami Iyengar, former Diwan of Jammu and Kashmir, gave this formula. Please tell me the formula for vote value of MLA first. Tell me the formula quickly. State population, which year? Upon number of elected MPs into? No? Oh, sorry, elected? Oh, my bad. Elected MLAs, because it is MLAs, into 1000. Yes? Clear? Now vote value of one MP is what? Total vote value of all MLAs upon number of elected MPs. This number is fixed. What is that number? 700. Lok Sabha MP, Raj Sabha MP, this number is fixed. Okay. Should we proceed now? No problem.
So, as the vote of each MLA of each state differs, doesn't bring inequality in the state for presidential election.
Of course, that is what we aim for. Inequality. No. On a serious note, we are aiming for inequality because if a state has larger population, then why should we pit them as an equal against some smaller state? Right? That's the reason. So, anyway, so this is a situation with respect to our what? Vote value formula. I have also shared this entire list. Go home, mug up to your heart's content. Vote value of random MLAs of random states. Impress people. I don't know who will be impressed with this information, but still. No, UPSC once asked a question on this. Those stupid fellows, they thought that aspirants should mug up vote value also. But don't take it too seriously. It was asked in 2023. In 2023, UPSC went crazy completely in the prelims exam. That is said to be the toughest prelims in the last 20-30 years. Cutoff was 75 out of 200. So, of course, it was a very tough paper, and there they asked these kind of questions. So, ideally, it might not be required to mug up this vote value, but you can know some of them. Okay. Now, what if there is election dispute? Who resolves the dispute? Supreme Court. And this is meant for both president as well as vice president. Supreme Court will resolve the election dispute. And who can complain? Candidates can complain. Or else who can complain? Can we go and complain to Supreme Court? Yes or no? No? Then who can complain? Voters can complain. Electors can complain. 20 electors are required to complain. Okay? So either the candidates or 20 electors. Who are electors here? Elected MPs, elected MLAs. They can complain. Now, if there is any vacancy in the electoral college, you can't challenge this election. Just because some MLAs have died, some MPs have died, some states under president's rule, this can't be a reason to challenge. Then, if Supreme Court declares the election to be void, all the actions taken by the concerned president while he or she was in office, will they also be declared void? No? Or yes? Of course not. Decisions will remain valid. Okay? So that is Article 71. Then other conditions, if you want to contest elections, you need how many proposers? 50. How many seconders? 50. Okay. And you also need a security deposit of 15,000. Clear? If you don't get 1/6 of the required votes required to win the election, then this money of 15,000 is seized, or else it is given back to you. Okay. Then the president will also take an oath. Oath is mentioned under Article 60. And who administers the oath? Chief Justice of India. If he is busy, senior most Supreme Court judge. And very important point, in the oath they talk about preserve, protect and defend the Constitution. But again, not really important for prelims, for mains possibly. Qualification, you have to be a citizen of India. Age is 35. You should be eligible to be an MP in the Lok Sabha. You should not be an MP. Be eligible to be an MP. Okay? And then they should not hold any office of profit, meaning getting benefits from the government. Okay. Then they are entitled to the President's use, Rashtrapati Bhavan, without the payment of rent, of course. If you ask them to pay rent, such a grand building, their coming generations will keep on paying rent only. We can't have that. Why to make them suffer like this? Then the salaries, allowances, they're all determined by Parliament. And the emoluments of the President are charged on the CFI. What is meant by charged expenditure? Yes, non-votable. Voting is not allowed on that. Direct approval. Charge expenditure. Give me some examples of charge expenditure. Not this, something else. Very good, something else. Salary of President is there, of course. What else? Whose salary? IAS officer salary? No. PM salary? Judges of Supreme Court. Sorry? Vice President's salary. Presiding and Deputy Presiding Officers. Not Vice President, but Presiding and Deputy Presiding Officers. What else? CAG. Actually, indirectly, because CAG salary is not fixed. CAG's salary depends on Supreme Court judge's salary. The salary of the CAG is same as Supreme Court judge. That is why if Supreme Court judge's salary is charged, CAG gets the same salary. Okay. Anyway, so we have example of charge expenditure. So President, Presiding, Deputy Presiding, judges and CAG. So CAG's salary depends on the judge's salary. Okay, whatever is the salary of the judge, he gets the same salary. Don't forget, please. SC judge. Then debt charges. If the government of India has taken a loan and you are repaying the loan, that is charge expenditure. Or any court judgment which requires you to pay some kind of compensation. Let's say railway accident victims are now being given compensation on court's order. That money has to be given. That is charged. When will that be given? That we don't know. You know very well how compensations are given so quickly in just 15-20 years. And very easy to get the compensation. Just go to the office, bribe the officer and you get the compensation. They usually only demand 5-10% of the amount, right? Because our officers are nice at heart. So they don't want to burden you with too much of pressure. So that's the beauty. That is why, officers are very important for running this country. Look at the police officers, right? Traffic constables, always helpful to us. Governments can make any kind of law uselessly, imposing heavy fines on people. 1,000 rupees fine for not wearing a helmet. Traffic constables, they are our friends. 200 rupees only. No problem. If they are not there, we'd have to pay heavy fines. All thanks to traffic constables. Anyway, look at this. What kind of nonsense is this now? Pension to judges of High Court and their salary? CFS. Please remember, the salary of judges of High Court is charged on CFS. This is all charged on CFI. Anyway, let's come back here. 3 funds: CFI, PAI and contingency fund. Let me clarify one very important point. Money from CFI can be taken out only with parliamentary approval. Third point. Clear? Any doubt? No doubt? Then what is public accounts? All other money, that is people's money. When we save our money in Atal Pension Yojana, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana,
public provident fund, post office savings deposit, that kind of money that people save under their own name is put under public account. Money from there can be taken out through government order only. There is no need for parliamentary meeting. Is it clear? Confusion?
CM relief and CM relief fund is there. Comes under which part of the
All relief funds, CFI. Okay? Any kind of fund under CFI. General money is kept under CFI. If there is any scheme or program which the government has launched where people are keeping their own money, then PA.
recently a girl child called Punarvika. She was suffering with some disorder, genetic disorder, and she wants 16 crores of injections. So government wants to support her through same relief fund. So they have to again draw that money from this state.
Possible. If there is so much of urgency, contingency fund. Right? That can be done. Okay. Or your state CM can do it. The legendary footballer said recently only that if a Gandhi family wants, I can give them 1,000 crores also. Remember? No? He said this recently. So his 16 crores is nothing for him. He just mentioned that if the Gandhi family wants, we can, Congress workers in Telangana can collect and pay 1,000 crore rupees also for them. How, we don't know. But they can. So I think if you have any kind of request for money, etc., please contact the footballer because he is willing to pay 1,000 crores. He can always pay some money. Right? I am not saying this. His official statement. Publicly. That he is willing to. So the point is he is not willing to serve the party. Serve the first family. Family loyalty is important. Anyway, please don't make remarks on such people or else, you know what? You have some very nice laws in the country like National Security Act, like UAPA. So they can send us to jail. Not me, I am always nice about them, right? I have full respect for these great people. So, okay, Contingency Fund of India and States. One important point to observe is that CFI and PAI are constitutional funds. Contingency fund is an optional fund. The article itself says it may be, can you read? May, the first point. What is the meaning of may? Optional. Shall means mandatory. So this may be established. All the states and center, they have established this fund. Are you clear? So this is kept with whom? The president. But actually, who is spending money? The secretary in the Department of Economic Affairs is spending this money. Some IAS officer like you will be spending this money. How much money is there in this right now? 30,000 crores. Currently, it has 30,000 crore rupees, which can be spent by the Ministry of Finance. See, the advantage of this is that you spend right now, get the approval later compared to CFI. Before spending, approval is required. Here, spend right now, waste it and then get the approval. So, the note, later the expenditure is approved by the parliament. Approval post expenditure or authorization post expenditure. CFI before pre-expenditure. Great, amazing people. Term of President's office, tenure is 5 years and re-election, how many times? Any number of times is possible. Though if you go to USA and all, 4-year tenure, only 2 terms. That is why Trump has gone crazy. Yes or no? Do you see his behavior? He has lost it completely. Why? Because he knows very well. This time is my last time. Make as much money as possible. Pick up fights randomly here and there. Nothing to lose. Okay, vacancy in office. Firstly, please understand that the president's post is meant for 5 years. but they can continue beyond 5 years also. Yes? Till the successor is appointed. We can mention this point here. Can continue beyond 5 years. Can continue beyond 5 years. Done?
What happened, sir, today? All silent, all okay? Then we can resign. Can the president resign? Oh, you can't force him to work. Come on. Resignation to whom? CJI? Vice president. Submit to the VP. And you know very well, if they resign, who becomes the acting president? VP. Party time for VP. But before the VP starts celebrating, they must also do one more thing. Inform the who? As soon as the VP gets the resignation intimation of the president, they have to inform the speaker. Addressed to VP, inform the speaker. Okay. Or we know very well removal by a process of, please mention Article 61 here. And by death, president can die also. Or illness gets disqualified. Such things can also happen. So, come to impeachment. One more thing. When the president is not there, who becomes the acting president? VP. If VP is not there, then CJI. If CJI is not there, then the list of 33 judges all can become the president. This is not mentioned in the constitution. This is mentioned in a separate law called President Discharge of Functions Act 1969. Should we proceed? All okay. Impeachment can start in which house? Any house. But before you start that, you have to give them 14 days of prior notice. Don't surprise them, right? They have to be given some time to pack their bags and all. It's scattered everywhere. The entire house is full of their clothes, right? Or in the case of Dr. Kalam, books, you know, when he left the Rashtrapati Bhavan, he had bigger boxes comprising of books. Unlike some politicians, when they leave their CM's bungalow, they have briefcases full of cash. No, we don't know that. Let's not make these comments. But one thing we know is there was one CM of a state who, when he left the CM's bungalow, he had briefcases full of taps and shower installations. He took all those from there. This is true. So there is one state in the north, and that CM actually took all these things from there. So this is the difference between lives of great men and ordinary people. 1/4 members have to give notice to initiate this proposal or resolution. Now, voting will take place in that house. If it is approved, it is sent to the other house where the charges are actually investigated, because you have to give some reason for removal. What is the only reason for removal? Ground. Violation of Constitution. And this word is, as usual, not defined in the Constitution. We have no idea what the hell is this word. Like most words, not defined. Okay, so that's there. If voting happens here also, it is passed, the president stands impeached. Once this is approved in the second house, it is not sent for his signature.
It's so bad. He has to sign his own removal. So he is not supposed to sign it. The moment it is passed in the second house, he is removed. What kind of majority is required? 2/3 of total membership. This is the highest majority required for anything in the country. Okay. Now, Article 74 is important. It just says that the PM and the Council of Ministers will give binding advice to the who? President. See, please understand, there shall be a Council of Ministers with the PM at the head to aid and advise the President. This was the original article. Then the brackets in red, this part was added through the 42nd Amendment Act. I think the year is something you know already. Then, provided that the entire paragraph which mentions how you have to send back the advice once for reconsideration, if it is passed again, the President has to sign. Are you aware of this? Yes? So, this entire paragraph is added through the which Amendment Act? 44th Amendment Act. Why do I feel this is the first time you are hearing this? Priyanka Gandhi. Yes, sir. Janata Party, of course. Very good, sir. Excellent. Correct piece of information. Janata Party. Just random show of knowledge. Very good. So, are we aware of this? Clear? No further explanation required? Okay, great. Second clause says that whatever advice was given by the PM to the President, it will not be inquired into in any court of law. Okay, that's it. Now, immunity to the President, and this immunity is for President as well as governors, and this is under Article 361. So you know very well, since the President is useless, since the President has very less powers, so they will not be held answerable for their performance, because it is not their performance. It is whose performance? PM's performance. What can the President do? You are forcing him to sign. So if things go wrong, don't call him to court. Clear? Okay. No criminal case can be filed against them. They can't be sent to jail also. No civil proceedings can be filed against them, but it can be filed actually with 2 months notice. Right. May be filed with 2 months prior notice. May be filed with 2 months prior notice. Are we clear? All okay? Should we proceed now? Great. Oh. Then I think some other functions you know very well. All actions are taken in the name of the President and all that, you know. Clemency powers. We have 5 types of clemency powers: pardon, commutation, remission, respite, reprieve. What is pardon? You are free from all the guilt. You are free to go live your life. What is commutation? You change the character of the punishment, right? So if let's say somebody is given death sentence, you change it to life imprisonment. Then remission. Reduce the what? Time period. Let's say you are given 10 years of jail. You change it to 9.5 years. No, 5 years of jail. Respite. So for a temporary period, you are awarding a lesser sentence. For a temporary, see, commutation means death sentence is changed to, say, for example, life imprisonment.
Remission means 10 years jail changed to 5 years or 4 years. Now don't think that this is the case only for 10 years. Example. Here, health issue. Okay, injury happens. If you are in jail and you had contract pneumonia, COVID, then we send you to government hospital for temporary period, of course. Like all the politicians, as soon as they are arrested, high BP, sugar, thyroid, all problems come up. This great leader, Lalu Prasad Yadav, he's serving a jail sentence. Let me just clarify. He's out on health grounds. Okay, and he is found playing badminton, jumping and smashing. But when the time comes on the court, he's brought in a wheelchair. Judges can also see the social media of this fellow playing Halloween, running here and there behind his grandchildren. Of course, he has 11 kids, so many grandchildren. So don't be shocked, 11 kids. So that's the quote for us. Reprieve, temporary stay on the execution of punishment. So the moment you file commutation, the government needs some time to respond. So in that time, you put a stay order on the punishment execution. That is called reprieve. Okay.